But still, orders are coming in. We've got weddings every season.
I am getting ready to calm down a bit.
Inspires me a lot, even on a personal level. I'm really inspired when I look at her.
I love CakeFairy, especially the cakes.
I think she's doing very well. Kate is an iron lady.
Kathy is my friend. Our friendship back dates to 2006 when we met at NAST. We were both part ones, and the first day that we met, we just clicked and our friendship began. With Kathy, we've done many things together, both good and bad. Our friendship has been the best friendship ever. We share a lot of experiences. I remember even when we got our licenses, our driver's licenses. She got hers earlier and I got mine 2 hours later. With Kathy, we went to NAS together. We did the same program. When we proceeded to do our masters, we both did marketing. When we were now looking for jobs, we were both employed at First Mutual. We joined the organization on the same day, and it was a pity when Kathy had to leave First Mutual. You know, we were always together, we worked together. I remember one of our bosses would always complain that you guys, I did not hire twins, because we're always together, we would work hard and we would play hard. Even as we were working, we made sure that we did our best.
Well, the name CakeFairy came about when I was looking for a brand name, because I didn't want to use my name. I didn't want to use Kathy because I had a vision of growing this hobby into a business. So I realized, I went on the internet and I searched and I found cake something, but it still didn't, appeal to what I wanted, because what I wanted was when someone eats my cake or our cakes, to have a smile. And around that time, my daughter had lost a tooth. So it made sense to say, and she was so excited about the tooth fairy. So I then decided to say, I'd rather call the business CakeFairy, because fairies bring laughter, they bring happiness, and they sprinkle some magical dust. So hence CakeFairy.
We call it CakeFairy because it has cakes and it has a fairy.
Okay. What do you know about fairies? What do you like about fairies?
I like that they have wings and they have a magic wand.
Okay, so that's why you like fairies.
Yeah, and they're also a color, pink or green.
There's no secret per se, but I think it just comes down to hard work, passion, determination, because I remember the first days when I started to bake, it was like just for friends and for family. Then before I knew it, my phone was buzzing with orders, and I would not sleep. And I cut out my social life, my friends, my family. But then that's how CakeFairy was born, through just the hard work and the passion. Yeah.
On the first day, I baked about 10 cakes, and I was so exhausted by the time I was finished. I was so exhausted. I couldn't even walk anymore. My feet were so sore because of standing. I was not used to the long hours. But as time went by, I got used to it. Baking 10 cakes in a week. We had a small board that we would write our cake orders. We would divide it into 3 compartments. Just cakes for the weekend. It was hectic.
Kate is an iron lady. She's a very principled somebody. Even the brothers, they know that before you go to her, you have to think twice. Because she will tell you a no is a no, a yes is a yes. She's not easily shaken by small things. She's a very strong woman. And she's also very prayerful. One thing. And then she has got 2 daughters. The other one is in Form 2. The other one is in ECDA. She loves her daughters very much. And she's very supportive at home. Every birthday which happens in the family, she just bakes a cake. You don't have to remind her it's my birthday. She just has those dates in her head. So everybody's happy at home.
It's not balanceable. I think of late I've actually improved, but you know, when you're starting a business and when you're growing a business, you just have to put everything, and sometimes something has to suffer. And in my case, my family had to suffer because I would not sleep. I will be researching. Every time I'm sitting, I'm on my phone, I'm researching, I'm baking, I'm decorating. And when I was doing it by myself, it was even worse because I just had no time to do anything. But now that I have grown and we have a team, I'm able to make time for my family and just tell them that I'm just not coming in today. So yeah, but balancing, it's not possible. Something will suffer somehow.
My mom is CakeFairy. She's always busy. She's never home, comes home late. When I come here, she chases me away. Says I'm bothersome. She's always busy. I used to want a lot of her attention, but I got used to her running around, not being there, coming home late. So I just prefer watching TV, being on my phone because she's never there. I got used to it. I'm a boarder, so I see my mom during the holiday for a short period of time. But yeah, she gets her days off, she comes home and she sleeps. So I got used to it. I don't know about Kayla, but I got used to it.
No.
You don't like it when Mama's not at home?
Yeah, I always cry and cry.
Why?
Just because when I don't go, it's okay if mommy's away.
It's okay if Mama's away. What if you're not in Brooklyn? What if you're not at Granny's house? What if you're at home?
At home.
Do you like it when Mama's
But
not at home?
if Annie's not at home, then Mama goes. Then I can go with Mama if he says.
So you like going with Mama? Does Mama always bring you to CakeFairy?
I had a full-time job at First Mutual Health for about 10 years. And I actually started working at First Mutual after I finished my honors in marketing, and that was my first job. And yeah, I had just got used to it. And I was so happy with my job because I was interacting with clients. But I got to a point where I just got tired of doing the same thing over and over.
I met Kathy in 2010 when she joined First Mutual. She came in with a lovely, nice personality. At first, though, I'll admit that she was a bit scary to some of us because she came in with the Kardashian thing, the looks, the way she would dress, the way she would carry herself, the way she would talk, and it was all a bit new to most of us at First Mutual. But well, with time, we got used to her style and her personality. She's a nice person, loving person. She loves people. She loves helping people. She's got people at heart, so I may say. We worked together in the client relations department from 2010 up until 2018 when she started CakeFairy. The months before CakeFairy was actually launched, she started the CakeFairy thing. It wasn't even a company. It wasn't even something that she was thinking of doing at a company level. It was a hobby at first. I remember she would bring in her bakings. She would ask us to taste at work, and we would taste and give her feedback. And with time, we encouraged her to take it to a higher level, maybe try selling the cakes and so on. And that is how she started with the selling of the cakes. With time, she had orders. She would get orders from people. They actually wanted the cakes, and more people came in wanting the cakes. That is when trouble started for her, because she now had to juggle between her work and the cakes on the side. And most of the time, I had to cover up for her, because we worked closely. We were a team, the two of us. So most of the times I had to cover up for her, you know, with the bosses, just to make sure that everything is okay at work. It then meant that we had to work as a team, CakeFairy wise, even work wise, because I now had to know if she's going to deliver cakes, if whatever that she's going to be doing, I had to know, so that I also knew what to say in case someone asks us at work where exactly she is. So that is how it all started. And it came to a point where she decided to just leave work, resign, take that bold step and start up CakeFairy. That is how it all started. And even when it started, I remember we would do the contracts together. She would do to look for the employees and then do the interviews, would do the contracts together. I actually even used to laugh to say, when I then come to your shop, all these people will be asking me, who are you? Do you have an appointment to see Kathy and all that? Yet I am the one who was actually drafting their contracts and all that. But well, it's all good. We're actually very happy for her. She's one person who is very passionate about life, passionate about people, someone who's passionate about the things that she does. She's a goal-getter. She's someone who really inspires me a lot, even on a personal level. I'm really inspired when I look at her, because at her age, you look at the accomplishments, the things that she has done. You see that she has gone so far, and yet she's not even that old. So she's such an inspiration to me, even the other people that we used to work with. We never really thought that she could have it in her, but well, she has done it, and she's proving herself time and again, each and every day. The company is doing well. We are happy for her.
I remember saying to her, no, Kathy, you can still manage. You can be working at First Mutual at the same time baking your cakes. And then she said to me, no, if I can't cope anymore, because her business was doing well. So end of April, she then made a decision that she was now leaving First Mutual to start CakeFairy business. And at the end of July, she left First Mutual to open CakeFairy on the 1st of August. I remember for me it was very touching. You know, it was like she was going out of the country. Having worked with Kathy, all the experiences that we shared together, for me, I felt it was a huge loss. But I then looked back and said to myself, it was more of a selfish decision for me not to let Kathy go and start her own thing. But today I'm happy to say that she has started her own thing and is doing very well.
So I took on a hobby, which was golf, and it worked well for the first year, but I soon got tired of that as well. And then I just decided, what do I even do with myself? So because of my food and nutrition background, I just loved cooking and baking. I decided to just up my icing skills. So I just went for a course just to learn how to ice cakes. And after that, then I just started baking for my friends and for my family. And then friends referred friends who referred friends. And before I knew it, my phone was buzzing. I had orders left, right, and center. I just stopped having a life. And that's how actually CakeFairy was born. But then the struggle that we had in the Bulawayo market was the availability of ingredients, you know, because here I am, I'm at work. After work, I want to go home and bake. But there is no one-stop shop, you know, so you'd either be jumping from one shop to the other just to get your ingredients for your one cake for your customer. So it was really a hassle for me.
She told me that, Mommy, I just want to quit my job because now I can't cope. I've got a lot of orders here and there, so every time she used to sneak out of the office to go and decorate some cakes because the demand was very high. Then she told me that, Mommy, I've got this vision. If I leave the job, I want to have my shop where I'm going to sell every baking ingredient. It will be just like a one-stop shop. They will be buying everything in my shop.
So it was quite difficult, you know, balancing work and cakes, because I would wake up sometimes 3 a.m. just to ice my cakes. I would actually sleep at 1. I would bake the previous night and then wake up in the morning to ice my cakes for the day. Sometimes I would finish like by 7 o'clock. I would be done, but then 7 o'clock I have to be ready for work. So 99% of the time I was late for work because of the cakes. So I didn't have a lunch hour, because lunch hour I'll be rushing again to deliver orders or just to finish up what I haven't done. So I think for a greater part of my life, I just didn't have a life. I was a zombie. I would just make cakes, go to work, and even at work I don't think I was as productive as I was because of this newfound hobby of mine. It was a very difficult decision for me to make, because I loved my job. I just loved the security of being employed. You know, we employees, we are just so comfortable. Medical aid is paid, you have a salary at the end of the month, whether you work or you don't, and you are just covered. Your school fees for your kids is paid, your fuel, your car is fueled. You know, it was just that comfortable life, and it took me, I think, 3 months to decide, to say, do I really want to take on this new hobby, or do I want to keep my job? And you know, you have these questions that come into your mind. What if my business doesn't take off? What if it fails? Am I going to regret this decision? I even remember my dad saying, this is a stupid decision. But you know, I just had to decide, what do I want to do? So I then told myself, no, I'm not just going to leave my job and go home and work from home. If I'm to leave my job, then I need to go into a already functioning business. I wanted to separate my work from home, because I knew that as long as I'm still working at home, then my family would suffer. So I just wanted to have that line in between. So we then came up with this idea of CakeFairy, where we would supply our ingredients in front and then have our baking at the back. So the whole idea for the ingredients was, 1, to have a one-stop shop, but also 2, to say, in the event that the cake business doesn't do well, we have got something to fall back on, which is the ingredient side. So that's how we came out with this place.
At first I was very reluctant for her leaving her job, but when she got this shop and started renovating, then I saw that it was her passion. Then I said, it's okay. Then she resigned her job and she opened the CakeFairy.
Most people have asked me to say, how has it been to enter into the cake industry? Yes, it was quite challenging, because we have had brands that are already known, service providers that are already known for providing baking supplies and providing all things cake. So it was quite a challenge to break into the market. But I think the strategy that we had was to be a one-stop shop, which is the most unique shop in Zimbabwe. There is no shop like CakeFairy in Zimbabwe, which provides just the one-stop shop, from your eggs to your milk to your icing, everything, your boards, all in one roof. So I think that is what has made us a market leader at the moment, because that's where we are as CakeFairy right now in terms of ingredients. In terms of cakes, well, it also depends on people's taste, but I think we are still there. Well, in the next 5 years, I see CakeFairy baking supplies all over Zimbabwe. My next stop will probably not be Harare, but maybe Gweru or Vic Falls. Also looking at, in terms of the cake side, just doing luxury wedding cakes. You know, I am inspired by Cotton and Crumbs. You know, she's actually fully booked right now until 2020. So that's where I'm going, where I won't be doing your ordinary birthday cakes, but I will do more of your luxury wedding cakes, which is something that we've launched on the expo. So that's where we are going in the next 5 years. Yeah.